today. And his pass.
I see Flacco goes week 1, starting, opening drive.
Season 2, Episode 8 of What the Football. My name is Jeremy Horwath.
And I'm Chance Gardner.
And today we have a lot to go over. 2 games to actually go over this week. We're always live on Saturday morning, so we have to take what we're given, and we have 2 games to go over with that Panthers game and that Bucs game, but we will not have a preview today like normal. That's all right. We have plenty of stuff to go over today, going deep diving into both games. 1-1 on the week. That's all right. Coming off a short week going up against Tom Brady, not an easy task. But yeah, we'll definitely go into both of them. And then also just our power rankings that we do every week. Kind of like our favorite part of the show, I think. Love ending off that way. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the show. Going to go into all of that. But to start off, we have some, I'm going to say more of bad news. Okay, good news, but heartbreaking as well. Zach Ertz, probably our best tight end ever, has just been traded yesterday morning to the Arizona Cardinals for a cornerback. What's it? I don't even remember his name.
Just some depth guy.
Yeah, a depth corner, drafted in the 6th round in last year's draft. He's from Bucks County. I know that. He's right from around the PA area. He's an Eagles fan. Maybe that's why we got him. I don't really know. But we traded for him and a 5th round pick. In my eyes, that's good value. I didn't see Ertz going more than just for a 7th round pick. But we got a 5th, and you can always find some good guys in the 5th round. It's not easy, but guys like Quez were drafted that late, and Jordan Mailata were drafted that late. So, I'd like to do that instead of holding on the Ertz really for no reason, for nothing more than a nostalgic factor. I think that's really the only reason why we would keep him. But yeah, he's been a Philly legend. He got the, what did he do? The touchdown,
the game-winning touchdown in the
Super Bowl, right?
4th down conversion in the Super Bowl.
Which I'll never forget that. Has some really good moments. The most catches by a tight end in one season in NFL history, or is that Eagles history?
I believe NFL history.
Yeah, it was like 118 receptions, which was insane. Great possession receiver. What are you going to do, man? Chance, what are your main thoughts on Zach Ertz and him not being on the team anymore?
Well, at first, it's sad. You're like, oh, dang. He's been here for, 9 or so years, I want to say.
Yeah, 8 or 9 years.
That's he's one of the, I say original players for me or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
That's like, I grew up kind of watching Zach Ertz and whatnot. So it's that part of me is sad. But then another part of me is like, hey, it's time to move on. We're finally letting some of these pieces of the Super Bowl team go away and, and whatnot. It looks like we're getting ready to rebuild here. We have 20 picks in this upcoming draft. So, and
do we really have 20?
Yeah, it's something like that. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know we have the most, I think, of any NFL team right now. So that's pretty crazy. So it's somewhat sad, but and he could come back. He could come back. He only has 1 year left on his current contract, and so once this season's up with Arizona, he could sign back with the Eagles.
Hey, he could, and if that does happen, it's really whatever. It would have to be a team-friendly deal. Again, we're in the rebuilding stage, so getting an older tight end. I'm assuming now this means that we're fully in on Goddard. We do have to offer him a contract soon. And I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of money. I'm really expecting Dallas Goedert to be a good amount of money. He's a great vertical threat. He really can just do it all. The thing is that the Eagles are just not utilizing him very well. That's why his name has not been brought up much this season. But once we figure out how to use Dallas Goedert more, which we were using him a lot in past years, Carson Wentz loved his tight ends. But having Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni play calling, which again, we will get more into later because that's been totally atrocious. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, we will get into Sirianni later. But yeah, I think this is really going to be a point where we're sticking with Goddard. Going to see what he can do. Maybe grab a nice tight end in the middle of the draft this year with one of our 20 picks. I'm sure we'll grab some sort of tight end, and we'll probably fall in love with a guy for no reason. And that's just how it's going to work. That's how it normally works. But yeah, Zach Ertz, gonna miss you. I hope he does well in Arizona. He went to our top teams pretty much. I know last week for our power rankings, they were the Cardinals were both number one for us. The last undefeated team in the league. Having Kyler Murray, an amazing quarterback, and having the weapons that all of the Cardinals have, it's a really good team. Zach Ertz may be able to go for another Super Bowl, but he went to a great team. Just sucks he doesn't have a good head coach again. But what are you gonna do? But yeah, thank you, Ertz, again. I'm really gonna miss you, but we'll stray away from that for a little bit. A nice little trade that we decided to do. Philadelphia Eagles are not very known for making that many trades in the middle of the season. I feel like we haven't been doing that for a while. But we'll go over the Eagles-Panthers game first. That happened 6 days ago on Sunday. Very back and forth game. My head was getting messed up the entire time. I can't believe we actually came away with the win. It came from a block punt from TJ Edwards, who was the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. But that game, I didn't really feel that good about it. I don't even know what the difference would have been if Christian McCaffrey actually played, because I know he could have, but a day, or not even a day before, we weren't even sure on the show last week if McCaffrey was playing. It was a game time decision that McCaffrey was not playing. So that kind of helped us out. I'm a little bit afraid of what would have happened if not. Sam Darnold might have shown his true colors. We'll see. It could have just been a bad game for him because he did look really good before that. So again, we'll see more of how good of a team the Panthers actually are. But yeah, what are your main takeaways from that Eagles-Panthers game? A lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff happened.
Well, first of all, that was just such a confusing freaking game.
It was.
Like, defense played well. That's the main takeaway from it. Yeah. Defense played very good, actually. Big play Slay probably had as many interceptions that game than he did all of last season. Yeah. Probably all of the rest of the season. We just don't get interceptions here in Philly.
Nope.
Does not happen. Steven Nelson played, he got an interception and he played really well. I mean, you look at the competition. I mean, DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson. I mean, our cornerbacks balled out that game. Even Avonte Maddox had a great tipped pass that could have been a touchdown. I mean, they all showed really good, like, hey, we're here to play. We're going to be the best part of this defense, more than likely. It sure is not the linebackers.
Sure as hell isn't the linebackers.
It is absolutely not the linebackers. And props to Hurts for really sticking in that game. I mean, you could say what you will about him. He didn't look all that great, but he got it done when he needed to.
Yeah. So, I guess that's more of the important part, but
yeah,
I feel like the entire game I was just screaming at Jalen Hurts the entire time. You know what I mean? I'm very loud during our games, but Jalen Hurts was making me really angry during that game, but he came back in the end, got us the win. I'll take it. He played good enough against the Panthers. And again, I'm going to feel more comfortable or less comfortable about that win after a few more weeks of seeing the Panthers play. Sam Darnold, it looks like he was seeing ghost again during that game. He was struggling, making really bad decisions, not good passes at all. That Steven Nelson pick, did you see Robbie Anderson flipping out on Darnold? Or he flipping out on a coach right after the pick? So he was running an out route or maybe a comeback route. I forget which one it was that Anderson was running. And he ran it, and right when he cut, Sam Darnold threw it a little bit before, and it just landed right in Steven Nelson's hands. Right after the play, you see Robbie Anderson right next to a coach screaming at the coach. He was like, screaming at him, and I was like, he's probably pissed off at Sam Darnold. That's probably what it was. He was probably like, man, I was with him in New York with the Jets, and he still followed me. There's a reason I left. Still, that's what I thought when I first saw it. So I don't really know if it was the corner, the secondary did their thing. All right. They got interceptions. They did what they were supposed to do. Do I think they had an amazing game because they were just that dominant over the receivers? I don't really think that. I think it's more because Sam Darnold struggled. I mean, the play calling was okay. It's just that Darnold was just making really bad passes, bad decisions. We were actually getting pressures, and when Sam Darnold gets pressured, he gets nervous and he fidgets around,
Sees ghosts.
Yeah, he sees ghosts, exactly. So I think it's more of that. And I'm always someone that doesn't give the Eagles as much credit as they probably deserve, but they still did their job. They couldn't like. The only way I could have been more mad is if the Eagles, like Darius Slay, just dropped the ball for some reason. These interceptions were straight to them. I don't think they made amazing plays, really. But again, they did their job. They did what they were supposed to do. They did probably more than they were supposed to do. And I'll take that. A win's a win, however it happened. Another thing that happened that day, Fletcher
actually did
something. Fletcher Cox got a sack, his first of the season against Carolina. About time is pretty much all I'm going to say about that. With this defensive line issues, BG being out and Derek Barnett getting all the penalties in the world, the only thing we really had is Javon Hargrave. Seeing Fletch actually get in the mix felt pretty good. Honestly, seeing him actually do something felt good. Hopefully he can keep on doing that and, excite me more. We didn't see anything more in the Tampa Bay game that he really did. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't think so. But again, we'll get more into the Tampa game later. But Fletch actually did something. Is he our highest paid player or is that Slay?
I'm pretty sure Fletch is our highest paid player.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Our highest paid player that's supposed to be getting a bunch of QB pressures. He's not even getting double teamed anymore because Hargrave is instead. And Fletch is just not getting it done. And I've been watching just him specifically. I've even looked back on the game and just looking at Fletch, and he's just really not doing much. He's trying to get past this one guy. It seems like he tries to bull rush them, and it's like he just doesn't have the strength in him anymore.
Yeah.
But he should be quick enough against a guard or a center where he should just be able to get around them. You know what I mean? He's strong enough to just throw their arm out of the way with a little swim move. And I don't know. I don't really know what it is with Fletch. Again, I know earlier this season, he did say that it's the team, it feels like the defense doesn't really have an actual scheme. But still, when you're a D tackle, you're told to just go after the quarterback or stop the run. Just block it up in there. It's not like he really has to do much more than that.
Yeah, you don't need an identity to shed blocks and hit the quarterback.
He does the same thing every play. It's just depending on where on the line he's doing it. Other than that, and there's times where the quarterback has a lot of time where we're like, Fletch, you have one guy on you the whole time, and we're facing not very good O-line so far this season.
Yeah, it's like he's not even getting double teamed as much anymore. Like the double team is going more towards Javon Hargrave.
Yeah.
And Javon's still getting sacks. He's still being productive. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we drop another game or two here, and then it's like, hey, we got to look at some trades, and Fletch is the one that goes.
So I'd be okay with giving away Fletch and like these older guys that are still with us. I'm okay with getting rid of a lot of guys. I don't think this team is ready to compete. I've been saying that all off season and everything. A quick question real quick. So in the off season, what you had us winning about 9 games. Do you think that can still happen? Right now we're 2-4.
I think potentially we could sneak out maybe 5 or 6 more games.
Okay.
But to get to that 9 win, no, I don't think that's possible.
Right. And I had them around the 5 win range, and I think I'm still going to hold myself up to that. I'd be happy if they get 5 wins. Honestly, at the point we're at now, I'm okay with just you really lose out. Give us that first overall pick, and I don't know, draft whoever the hell is doing really good in college football by the end of the year. You never know what's going to happen at that point, as long as it's not Spencer Rattler. We draft Spencer Rattler, I'll never be an Eagles fan again. I think that goes for the both of us.
Yeah,
man,
no, I dislike Spencer Rattler.
That guy sucks. He's already been benched, so I'm sure he's not going to be a first round pick. But that is, again, more off-season stuff. But yeah, Fletch did something. The D-line is improving. Derek Barnett's even improving. I've been seeing him get a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, Derek Barnett actually doing something as well. I don't remember seeing a penalty these last couple games either out of Derek Barnett.
No.
The only thing I've really seen was after we got an interception on Brady, Derek Barnett was pushing Brady very slightly. just keeping him out.
Yeah,
of
just giving him a
him
little
actually doing
tap so
something.
that he couldn't make
Yeah.
a play and fumble
Right.
the
Like
base
he
layer.
actually would. But say you just push him a little bit, and the ref had to come in the middle of a play
Protect
and
his
break
boy.
that up. Yeah, he
Yeah,
had
well,
to
like what?
protect
It's
his
middle
boy.
of a play. Don't get involved.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. That was very frustrating to say the least. But yeah, Derek Barnett's playing better. Fletch hopefully can build off of that Carolina game. It was it was a short week for that Tampa game, so a lot of these guys could have been pretty tired. I'm not sure how Sirianni really held practices that week. I didn't really keep my eye on that, so don't know if everyone was tired or if he gave them some rest. But I know it was not an easy game against Brady. Anything else you have for the Eagles versus Panthers recap?
I want to mention that I don't blame Mailata for letting up those 2 sacks against Hassan Reddick.
Oh, that is something we can actually talk about. I did forget. So Dillard, so with all of our injury problems on the offensive line, that again, I'm gonna say it, I called this was gonna happen. This happens every year, and that's why we're gonna get 5 wins. I've been saying it all off season. If this offensive line can't stay healthy, we're gonna be a really bad team. And guess what? The offensive line has not been healthy. The only guy that has been staying on and in the same spot is Jason Kelsey. He's the only one. He's the only one.
The
that's
oldest
not
out
been
of it.
hurt.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but he's great. He's great. So he's not the issue at all. But at left guard, we now have Landon Dickerson, which is fine. Him even if he started over Sayamalu when Sayamalu wasn't hurt, I would have been okay with that. So Sayamalu's out for the year. At left tackle, let's not even start. Left tackle is supposed to be Jordan Mailata. But at right tackle, Lane Johnson's out for personal issues. Still don't know what that's about. Hope he's doing okay and everything. But that's his 3rd game missed. So that means they're moving Mailata over to right tackle because Dillard is more comfortable at left. But okay, hear me out. Ready?
I would rather have an elite left tackle.
Shouldn't we care more about the guy that we just gave a big contract to, who we said was going to be our long-term left tackle? Shouldn't we keep him more comfortable? Not our former first-round pick that shouldn't even be seeing the field right now. And also, that is Jalen Hurts' blind side. Like, reasons for having a bad left tackle, that's reasons like how Carson Wentz hurt his back initially. It was
Jason Peters let up a easy sack and just got decked.
I think it was Olivier Vernon. I'm pretty sure it was. He legit ran around Jason Peters and hit Wentz within 2.5 seconds. Like when you don't have that much time and you need a good guy at left tackle, Dillard has been playing not very well. I mean, Hurts almost got hurt last week. I think it was the Tampa game when they ran directly around Dillard. He was not on the snap at all. Right where they snapped the ball and he was still sitting there. They ran around him and Hurts had to run right away. If Hurts didn't somehow see that, Hurts is hurt. Like plain and simple. He would have hit him right away, and who knows how hard he would have hit him. So Dillard at left tackle, I hate it. Mailata's not comfortable at right tackle. We all know that. But at least Hurts will be able to see that. Hurts is when obviously when you're a right-handed football player, you're gonna be facing this way, and you're gonna see the right tackle better than you're gonna see the left tackle. The left tackle is your blind side. And Mailata is not that great at right tackle. He's good at left. He does great. I don't know the differences enough. Even though I was a lineman, I was a guard, so I don't really know tackles that much. I don't know why it's a big difference from left tackle and right tackle. Maybe just the way that you shift and they're more comfortable going one way and the other. But I know when I played guard,
kick step.
When I played guard, you just do the same thing over and over, and pretty much you're just run blocking every time. It feels like this is all you're doing. You're a guard. But yeah, I hate that too. Right guard Brandon Brooks is out again. Who would have saw that coming? And Jack Driscoll is in at right guard. He's been playing okay. The thing is, I haven't heard his name much, and that's pretty good for an offensive lineman. If you don't hear your name much, it's because you're not letting up sacks. So I guess he's doing all right at right guard. I've been seeing him and Kelsey go together. A lot of like double team packages with them too. I guess Kelsey's just helping them out. I don't really know. I guess that's just Sirianni's play calling. But this offensive line, there's 3 guys on here that shouldn't be starting. The 4th guy shouldn't be at right tackle. And we have good old Jason Kelsey. Plain and simple. But yeah, that offensive line is very worrisome. I don't even know what's really going on with Brandon Brooks. What is going on with Brooks?
Yeah, I thought he was supposed to be back. Like, I knew he got injured.
Yeah.
But I guess the medical staff didn't, what they typically do and downplay injuries And now we're going to be going through the rest of the season. Like, is he coming back? Is he coming back?
Yeah.
And the medical team's like, oh, he's a week away from playing. Oh, he's a week away. They're going to do this crap again until the final, like the final 4 or 5 games. And they're like, hey, Brooks is back. We're out of playoff contention, but we're still going to start him.
Yeah.
And then he gets injured again. And I'm done with this crap. Like, to be completely honest with you, it's like,
trade away all the older players. I'm okay with getting rid of Lane. I'm okay with getting rid of Brooks. You can get a lot out of Brooks.
You probably can. Yeah.
I think if you trade him
at least get a first.
Yeah. If he's healthy in the offseason, in the middle of the season, and they see him play well, like one game before the trade deadline, I think teams in contention would make a push for that. I don't think I'm really crazy for that. Over here, he says, don't understand why he moved my ladder to right tackle. He just learned to play left tackle, move Dillard. I completely agree. You got to be moving him over. I'm in the same boat as you. He does need to be moved over, but what I get
Roseman's call. That's what I'm willing to bet on.
It possibly could be Harry Roseman's call because he wants he wants Dillard to get some value. Hey, if Dillard started playing really well and we get some value on him and we can get a decent trade for him, I'll be really happy. But Dillard's just not doing that. He's not a good tackle in this league. He's not a good lineman in this league. Terrible first-round pick out of Howie. I think he's supposed to make his decision look better, but I just don't think it's going to work out that way. I really just don't think it's going to work out that way.
Nah.
But what are you really going to do? We're not the head coach. We're not the GM. There's nothing we can do about it. Only thing we do is complain about it.
Yep.
We love it. We love it.
Oh my God.
Love every second of it. We love complaining about the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think all Eagles fans can agree with us there. Some more complaining to do. We're going to go over the Eagles versus Bucs recap. Tough game. It's kind of boring, honestly. The game was
kind of boring. At least through the first half.
Through the first half, even the third quarter, I would say too. It was really picked up in the fourth quarter and got interesting. And I think even for Bucs fans, it was kind of boring. So we started off with a touchdown because of a PI call on like the 1 or 2 yard line that we scored right after. So again, I don't think that touchdown was very deserving, but again, we'll move on from that. It was 7-7 at that point. And then Brady and the Bucs just started piling it on. By the third quarter, we were down 28-7. Man, it was just rough to watch. Brady was just throwing dimes all over us. Leonard Fournette was destroying us all day. He got
just
20
running through our linebackers.
He got 20 plus carries, 80 something yards rushing. I know he had at least 40 yards receiving. I don't even know how much more he piled that on. I just know that was in the middle of the game. So Leonard Fournette had a great day against us. Sucks to watch, but we did start to pick it up a little bit, and we come back, score 2 touchdowns after that, and make the game 28-20. The Eagles Nick Sirianni makes a very interesting call to go for 2 at that point to make it 28-22. I kind of understand why. I don't really get what the point in risking it was. I think kicking the field goal would have been the better option, just so we're down by a touchdown, and at the end of the game, if we somehow come back, we miraculously go for 2 then and win the game if that's what we really wanted to go to instead of doing overtime. I don't really know what that call was, but 28-22, and then we're going down the final drive where Tom Brady has the ball and they're rushing down the field, and there's a point where we might be able to actually stop them, and there is a taunting call on Jannard Avery, right? Yep. It was Jannard Avery. Terrible call by the refs. Even Aikman was like, and that is taunting. These taunting rules have been entirely atrocious. One thing that happened, Fournette got up, bumped into Jannard Avery, and Avery just stood there, and he looked him down. That's it. It's like me doing this. Taunting. Terrible.
15 yards, first down.
And honestly, and that could have been a point where we could have won the game. We could have came back and scored a touchdown and took the lead. Don't know if that would have happened, but we at least would have had the chance. And at that point, the taunting call happened, and there was no coming back from that. After that, they went down the field into 2-minute warning. They were in the red zone, and all they had to do was kneel the ball.
Clock.
And all of our timers were out. They chewed clock, kneeled the ball 3 times. Game was over. Terrible way to lose the game. I really wish we could have got a stop and seen Ertz try and get another 2-minute drill going and see what he could have done.
Yeah.
Again, we didn't really get that. It really sucks. It really sucks that it ended that way. But again, just like we were saying with the Panthers game, Hurts played better when we needed him to. Now, two of our touchdowns, I don't really know if I can really call them, like say that we played it really well. They were from deep balls that were PIs, and both of them plays
were terribly thrown passes.
Terribly thrown. They would not have been caught regardless. The second PI call that was on Jalen Reagor that we got our last touchdown on, in my eyes, that wasn't even PI. Jalen Hurts threw it so far behind him, and they were rushing down the field, and Jalen Reagor just planted his feet, and he got hit a little bit. I don't think there's anything that corner could have done. I guess you just forced him to get a PI. If that happened to an Eagles corner, I just know I'd be really pissed off.
Oh,
I'm not going to be that mad since, it was the other side. But I don't think there's a PI call. Terrible pass by Jalen Hurts. Got to stop throwing the ball downfield so much. Very frustrating because Hurts
can't do it.
He can't do it. And the thing is, Hurts knows that too. And Sirianni just keeps on pushing it and pushing it. And again, the play calling has been terrible. And honestly, what my real question is Nick Sirianni really giving Hurts a chance to actually succeed? I know Hurts has looked bad, but when you look at all the play calling, Sirianni's telling Hurts what the play is, and Hurts has to follow it, and he can do what he does with it. He's being told to do all them RPOs. It's not Hurts' job or fault. It is his job, whether he decides if they run the ball, if they give the ball to Miles, or if he runs it, or if he passes it, typical RPO things. And it doesn't seem like he's been doing a very good job, but it looks like none of the options are open. When they do their RPOs, Miles Sanders is always held up. There's always a guy waiting for Jalen Hurts to hit him, and no receivers are open within 2 seconds. The RPOs need to stop. Everything needs to stop in general. But losing 20-22 against Tom Brady, really wish could have got a win over him again. Didn't turn out to happen. It really sucks. He says they're putting the offense of Hurts on Hurts' shoulders like Reed did with McNabb early on. Problem is Hurts isn't McNabb. Not running the football and getting Sanders involved is crazy. And I would totally agree with that. Sirianni does not run the ball. Miles Sanders had his most rushes this season with 9, and he ended with, 60-something rushing yards, or 50. Yes. It was high 50s rushing yards from Miles Sanders. That's all you have to do. Keep on giving Miles the ball. Miles should be getting 20-plus carries. At this point in our game, we were down 7-7 early, and we were still passing the ball every play. And when Sirianni is saying the RPOs count as his run plays, that sounds so stupid. I'm sorry. That's my best way to put it. I think it's an idiotic idea. He's coaching like he is a college football coach, like as if he was Chip Kelly when he joined. But Chip Kelly wasn't even this stupid. Chip Kelly would actually run the ball a little bit more than one time in the first half. You know what I mean? And Sirianni's just been doing a terrible job. I don't know what. Maybe this is what he wanted to run in Indianapolis when he was the offensive coordinator. We know Frank Reich calls plays over there, but I want to know how Sirianni got this idea. He was under Frank Reich for 3 years, and he's doing the total opposite of what Reich does. And Frank Reich is a good coach. He was an amazing coordinator and a pretty good coach.
Probably the reason why we won that Super Bowl, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, he was a huge part.
We never should have let him go.
And, it was for a head coaching job. There's nothing really we could have done.
Should have fired Doug Peterson and
fired Doug Peterson after a Super Bowl winning season. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense, Chance. That would make a lot of sense. But I feel like Sirianni should have learned something other Frank Reich. I know Frank Reich doesn't run this kind of stuff, and he wouldn't, even if he had a quarterback like Hurts, he would at least play smarter than this. I don't know where Sirianni is getting these ideas from. I don't know if he's trying to test this out, and we know this college stuff doesn't work. Urban Meyer, when he just came up to Jacksonville for this season, he's been terrible so far. But the thing is, he didn't run the first game, and they got totally beat up. Okay, after that first game, I think Urban Meyer learned his lesson. He started running the ball. James Robinson's actually getting the ball. They're giving one of their best playmakers the ball.
Now they're still losing, but
it's
getting closer.
It's getting closer. You give Miles Sanders the ball more, give him more plays where you can even dump it off to him. Give Miles
just
Sanders
get the ball in Miles' hands.
He is our best playmaker. He does everything right. He is our best.
He doesn't do everything right. He doesn't get out of he doesn't stay in bounds.
Yeah, and you know what I kept on hearing too about that? Oh, good thing Sirianni took him out of the game. That's Sirianni showing that he stands up to his players. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like, shut up, because he took him out because he wouldn't get out of bounds. Yeah, okay, well, let's start judging everything else that Sirianni does too. They said he was holding them accountable. He held, which is fine. I'm not going to be cheering about it. That's some stuff that is really into baseball. People that watch baseball and they look at their managers, they want to see them hold players accountable. Some of the Phillies managers just haven't done the past couple of years. But I guess when they see Nick Sirianni do it, they got really happy about it. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm more pissed off about everything else he's doing, like not giving Miles the ball more than one time in the first half. So frustrating. Terrible play calling. Not giving Miles the ball. I just don't see much that Sirianni's doing. He's finding a different shirt every day to impress Philly fans. He's still doing it. And I know you've heard me bring it up before, but he just keeps on wearing shirts and everything. And I feel like he spends more time trying to figure out his wardrobe than making
really
good
worried
play calls.
about what T-shirt this man wears.
He worries about it so much. I feel like that man.
I think some intern he said like, hey, whoever unpaid intern number 1 is or whatever, he's like, hey, come up with some shirts for me. I'll put it on. People will like it.
No one likes it. No one cares.
I think people like it. I like it sometimes.
Well, I'm pissed off at Sirianni. Sirianni just really frustrates me. I get what Roseman was trying to do. It sucks. Harry Roseman, he likes to have a puppet. He likes them to do whatever that Harry Roseman wants to say. Whatever Harry Roseman says,
Howie has
happens.
had this control issue because of Chip Kelly. Let's be completely real here. When Chip Kelly was here, he absolutely ruined the Eagles. And then, and I think that's caused Howie some sort of like, oh my God, I can't let this happen again. Like he wants full control and he wants all the say and whatnot. And it's not working. You have to get over your fear of letting other people build the team. Okay.
Yeah.
You're the general manager. You get what the coach wants and you get a good coach. You get the best qualified coach for the job, not some dude that never has really been that much of a play caller. I mean,
no, he's never called plays before.
Yeah, exactly. He's only been there just drawing up plays. Sure, I like Nick Sirianni's attitude, but attitude isn't what wins you Super Bowls.
No,
okay?
It doesn't. Here's a question for you. We got this as a comment. At what point do they pivot to Minshew? What has to happen for the Eagles to move on to Minshew? Minshew's been inactive since we had him. So honestly, the question I also want to ask you, do you think they would have done it by now if Minshew was active these past couple of weeks? No? Okay. So what do you think has to happen, or at what point do you think they actually move on to Minshew?
Jalen Hurts isn't playing, the greatest football ever, but he's not playing the worst football ever.
Yeah.
Like, say what you will, but if we put in Minshew, I don't think Nick Sirianni wants to put in Minshew, to be perfectly honest.
It doesn't matter what Sirianni wants. It's Roseman.
It's true. That's true. But that's going to completely change up this offensive scheme. I would assume so, because we run the ball with Jalen Hurts so much and we rely on Jalen Hurts, his athleticism and whatnot. Not to say Minshew isn't an athlete, but,
Jalen Hurts is just a really good athlete.
Yeah, exactly. So do I think Minshew's going to no, unless Jalen Hurts has a string of games where he throws like 2 interceptions a game and no touchdowns and whatnot, I don't think Hurts gets benched this season at all. I really don't see it happening.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do it.
I would be very surprised.
I wouldn't, only because Hurts has been getting. I'm always a big stat man. I like putting numbers on things. He's been throwing at like the 50% completion percentage, which is not good. Again, guys aren't getting open due to play calling. He's throwing the ball away, but regardless, it still hurts his numbers, and that's what they're going to look at. And the thing is, just like what you said, it would change their scheme so much on offense, but that might be what has to work. If we don't have a quarterback that's athletic as Jalen Hurts, what is Nick Sirianni going to do? Because they can't run this RPO stuff with Gardner Minshew. If Minshew's in that quarterback, he's more accurate. He has a better deep ball. He's an overall better passer than Jalen Hurts, and I don't think that's crazy saying. I think he's a better passer. But Jalen Hurts is more of a weapon, and I still would like Jalen Hurts to continue starting. I think he's the better quarterback overall. I just think that Minshew is a better passer. I think that's fair to say. But with a bad offensive line, it's not going to work out well. We're, again, like we say every week, our offensive line is built around the run. they can run the ball really well. So if you give Miles Sanders the ball, if you start Gardner Minshew, you're going to be forced to run the ball more because you can't keep on running with Hurts. You can't keep running out of the pocket with Minshew play after play and seeing what he can do, because that's not what you're going to have to do with Minshew. So if you, again, just like how you said it would change the scheme too much, it might change it for the better. Do you think this team would be better with Gardner Minshew at quarterback?
I think there's the potential it would be better. But then you also have to keep in mind, Sirianni might go, all right, we're just going to spread it out the entire time, empty sets.
Now that too.
That's all. That's one of my worries or whatever.
Exactly. You can't put too much faith in what Sirianni is going to do. Maybe this is the offense that Howie Roseman wants. Maybe he wants a college offense. Jeffrey Lurie is always talking about offense. I remember in that press conference after Doug Peterson got fired, and you and me actually had to do an assignment at CSB. Remember that long Jeffrey Lurie press conference we would go over? He was talking about how much he loves offense and everything. So maybe this is even going back up to Jeffrey Lurie, and he's the one that wants to do all this. Again, I wouldn't be shocked. This team is full of surprises. But at what point do I think they'll go to Minshew? If Hurts continues to play, like I even though Hurts kept us in this game on Thursday against the Bucs, they were due to PI calls. He had 2 rushing touchdowns that were from 2 yards each. Though I think I think we could have gave the ball to Miles and he would have done it anyway. So I'm sorry, but I'm not going to give too much credit to Jalen Hurts on Thursday. I think he had a terrible game. I don't think he played well against Carolina. I don't think he did at all. I think he came back and we blocked a punt that got us a win. Let's be like, if that punt didn't happen, we're losing the game, and we had a really good field position then. I'm saying Jalen Hurts has had a terrible season. He's had and I know this is his first full season. But the things that I'm seeing Jalen Hurts do worries me for now and for the future. If he continues to play like this, I'd be okay with giving Minshew the ball. But again, I still would rather Hurts, because Hurts at least has the potential. I think we know exactly what Gardner Minshew is, and he's going to stay that way. He's not going to be a star quarterback. He's going to be a top-tier backup, and that's kind of where we have him.
And at this point, do you even really want to win games all that much? Wouldn't you rather try and, develop Hurts and, see what he's capable of?
And that's exactly where I'm agreeing with you too.
Yeah.
But I mean, by week 14, say we are like 4. What is it? What would that make? 4-9 or 3-10 or whatever. I can't do my math right now. Yeah. If we're around there and we see Hurts doing the same thing, he's not improving at all. It's going to be because of Jalen Hurts. And if he keeps playing this bad, and he does that by week 14, throw Minshew in there. Maybe we can see like, not that Minshew's going to be our long-term option, but let's say we put him in and we see how the offense runs with him. Okay, well now when we go to draft time or free agency time, we want this kind of quarterback because they can help this team in these ways. You know what I mean? The way that Gardner Minshew plays football. You can look at guys like that for the future. Because this Jalen Hurts thing so far is not working out. I'm hoping we already go for another coach next year, honestly. Or at least a really good offensive coordinator that the offensive coordinator calls plays, not Sirianni.
Then what's the purpose of having Sirianni like at that point?
A lot of head coaches, I don't know. His attitude, I don't know. I don't know, man. That's saying what's the point of having an offensive coordinator right now when Sirianni's playing throwing play calls? You know what I mean? I think the Eagles see it as either finding the franchise quarterback in Hurts or go 3-13 and draft one. I completely agree. I don't think it could be any better. That's kind of what they are going to do. Howie Roseman, again, loves his draft picks, and he wants to show how good they are. So he's going to want Jalen Hurts to succeed. They're going to push him. And honestly, I feel like next year they're going to be like, give him another chance. And, I feel like if Hurts plays bad this year, you move on. We don't have time to keep on trying to keep a quarterback that's just not going to work out. Give him a year. He doesn't show us enough. We need 6 wins out of Hurts. If he can't do that with this team, that's worrisome, and you got to move on. You got to move on. Now, the quarterbacks that I could see, Spencer Rattler's out of here. It's whatever. But there's some really good quarterbacks also in this draft. Malik Willis looks really good out of Liberty. Matt Corral looks really good out of where's Corral?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. He looks really good.
Keaton Slovis.
Yeah, Keaton Slovis from USC. He is he's more of a pocket passer. He's one of those type of guys. He's a really good arm, good accuracy. He just can't move out of the pocket that much. So if we get a decent offensive line going and they can actually stay healthy, he'd probably work out really well on this team. But again, draft time's in the future. We'll talk about now.
Yeah, my favorite time of the year, draft time.
Draft time is always the best. We had a really fun off season with our shows back in season 1. That was a lot of fun. But any other takeaways from this Eagles-Bucs game before we get into our power rankings that we do weekly, all 1 through 32 teams?
Nothing too much. I mean, obviously we didn't sack Brady during that game whatsoever. And then we let up 2 sacks of our own. Yeah, it's just
we're just not a good team.
Not a good team. Nope.
Not a good team. And you're gonna see that in our power rankings right here. I'll have our power rankings show up right here, right now. On the left side is my side for the power rankings. Who you guys can all see a clear chance making another amazing graphic for us. My side is on the left, chances on the right. Our list I know he looked over. He's the one that made the graphic. I have not looked at the list yet, but this is pretty much going on. Comment below of what your thoughts on this list. Do you think there's any crazy takes that either one of us have going on, or if you just kind of agree with everything? But right away you'll see that I did move the Cardinals out of 1 already, and that's because I just think the Bills are that good of a team. They beat the Chiefs by 37-20, I believe they beat the Chiefs. I just think their one loss earlier this year was the bad loss. The Bills have been blowing out every team. I think Josh Allen has proved that he is an amazing quarterback. He is so good. An elite quarterback. Josh Allen is incredible. I wish that we could have something like that, but obviously we don't. Other than that, though, what isn't you see? We both have Chargers pretty high now. I think the biggest thing with my list is I actually have the Chiefs outside of the top 10 now. What are your thoughts on that, Chance?
That's pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy, but I can explain myself. Myself. So the Chiefs, they are known. They should be a very offensive heavy team. Their offense has not even been playing that well this season. They're now 2-3. They should have dominated us. They should have at least kept it close with the Bills if they're as good as a team as we thought. Thing is, what really brings them down to 11 is their defense is that bad. Their defense is terrible.
Yeah, you can't let the Eagles put that many points on you.
No, you can't. You can't. And all the teams I have above, I just like. I wouldn't be like the Chiefs. They keep on playing how they're playing. I'm okay with moving them down more. I'm okay with having the Chiefs outside the top 10. And I don't think I'm really crazy for that. Now, if I put them down near like the 15 to 20 range, that might be a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
And this might even be a little bit crazy to some people that the Chiefs are outside the top 10. But when I was making the list, I was like, all right, do I think this team's better? Yeah, I think this team is better than the Chiefs. They have a better defense, and the Chiefs offense isn't playing well enough. Plain and simple. What other takeaways do you have from my list looking at it? Is there anything really?
You obviously moved the Bucs down a little bit. Browns are trending upwards from last week. That's pretty good. Chargers are one of your highest moving teams, other than the Steelers, which that's pretty funny.
It's only because all the other teams are.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not because they're actually that good of a team.
I do like that you're starting this Titans bandwagon though.
I am on them a little bit more. Yeah, they're
both have them at 12 now.
Oh my! You know what I just realized?
You
have the Colts higher than me.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That's pretty surprising.
Yeah, because I've been high on the Colts.
It's just because I rate the other teams so bad, you know. It wouldn't surprise me if the Vikings eventually come and overtake that. I just need to see more out of Kirk Cousins. I really do. I don't trust him. I really don't.
No, I totally get you there for sure.
And then
obviously we always have the Jaguars last.
Yeah, that's never gonna change.
Hey, look, the Jets have been moving up for us. They're trending upward.
Yeah, there you go.
Both
Your
of them at
boy
29.
Zach Wilson's doing all right now.
Yeah, he's doing all right. And again, the Eagles have not moved once from me yet this year. They've been stuck at 23 every week. You actually have them in the top 20. You have them above the Washington football team That's interesting.
I just dislike Washington right now. It's just they're supposed to be an elite defense, getting all these sacks and whatnot because they got Montez Sweat, Chase Young, Deron Payne. They don't do crap. They
don't.
leave it up to Taylor Heineke to just win games magically. You know, like I don't think Taylor. I mean, Taylor Heineke's a good quarterback. Like he's decent, right? But he's not like. He's not as good as what his stats say. He just kind of lucks into stuff. I don't know if you've seen that Terry McLaurin catch on the sideline where it just kind of somehow passed through the DB's hands, and it's just they win through complete BS, you know? So
they have the same record as us, and they just lost to the Saints 32-22. I know that is when I was making the list. That's something that I noticed. Something else I also want to point out, I have the Patriots at 21. And I've been keeping them around the middle of the pack, and they're kind of moving down for me. And I know they kept close in the game against Tampa Bay. You know, it came down to a field goal. But what really worried me while I was watching that Eagles-Panthers game, I was checking updates at the bottom of the screen the whole time. And directly next to with the Patriots faced the Texans last week. They were next to them, tie game. Every time that the one team scored, the other team scored after. I think they won like 25-22. The Patriots won over the Texans, something like that. That worries me because as you can see, the Texans are both our 31st worst team. And decent teams should be, you know, if you're a good team, you beat up on the bad teams. You just beat up on them, and they didn't beat up on them at all. I'm surprised they even really scraped it out, honestly. Over here, he says, Bills, Chargers, and Bucs are front runners. Justin Herbert is a sleeper MVP candidate. Although Josh Allen might be the best QB in the league. I think sleeper's fair to say. I think sleeper's fair to say just because his name
is the frontline MVP in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that's because you're always on the sleepers. Look, whose name has been brought up the most for MVP this year?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray. That's all you've heard about. Kyler Murray's the MVP. And that's what I've been saying even before the season started. I'm giving myself props this episode, okay?
I was a year early on Kyler Murray, okay? I said it last year.
I said it this year, and I'm very happy with my call there. But Josh Allen's been absolutely – these young quarterbacks are so exciting to watch. And the thing is, we're going to see these guys for so much longer. And I absolutely love where the league's going right now. Older guys are getting kicked out and everything. You have the Niners outside of the top 10. That is something that surprises me a little bit. Not with you. You've been moving the Niners down a lot recently. Is the team better with Trey Lance or worse?
I think they're better, but they have so many injuries on the backside of that defense that it's getting to a point where it's ridiculous. And
Josh Norman.
Yeah, Josh Norman. But I do think Kyle Shanahan is, going to figure out how to get this team rolling in a few weeks. Yeah. I think it's only a matter of time before he really is like, hey, and now with the Seahawks, out, they're the Niners are still going to slip into playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be real here. I mean, the Rams are a good team and whatnot. They're going to take the division more than likely. But the Seahawks pose no threat whatsoever. I mean, as you can obviously tell, they're at 25 for me and 24 for Jeremy. They're done. Their season's cooked. Russ cook and Russ got cooked.
The doctor said that he wouldn't be surprised if he comes back in 4 weeks from now.
You can't drop 4 games though.
Exactly.
In that division, especially.
And is Geno Smith going to get any of them 4 wins? I don't know about that.
No,
I'm not sure about that. But that's all my takeaways from here. Our lists are pretty similar, so there's not too much to say this week. There's not your usual Colts banter on me, so I'll take that. You move them up 5 spots. That game was really interesting
because the other teams. That's really
I don't care. You have him at 17. We love it. Carson Wentz, by the way, he's gonna get brought up in every episode. I don't care. Having an Eagles podcast, it's gonna happen no matter whose show it is. Carson Wentz on that Monday night game against the Baltimore Ravens passed for over 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, but the Ravens came back and won because Blankenship got hurt and couldn't make a field goal. But that's really about it. Any other takeaways from the power rankings?
We both have the Cowboys in the top 10 now.
Yeah, I know. It sucks. I hated doing it. Doing it.
The part of me just wants to die on the inside for
Yep.
putting the Cowboys there.
It's
God,
sad.
I hate
It's a
that.
sad day being in Philly. It's a sad day being in
It
Philly.
really is.
But yeah, that's gonna be our power rankings. Real quick, we do have a Manscaped ad that I will play real quick, and then we'll come by and say our goodbyes. But listen to this nice ad real quick. DSM Media is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with code DSM at Manscaped. Manscaped engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience. Their 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. This upgraded trimmer includes a multifunction on and off switch that can engage a travel lock. It also gives you the ability to turn a 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. And did I mention the wireless charging? The new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last longer. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code DSM at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using code DSM. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. Look at that. 20% off and free shipping using code DSM at manscaped.com. Over here, he says it's on my Christmas list. That's what we love to hear. Use code DSM for 20% off and free shipping, and boom, there you go. Got some off. Real quick, during the ad, we were also asked, you guys buying the Stafford and the Rams 100%. Think that Rams
The only reason why he's been doing, bad recently and overthrowing stuff is because he has the finger injury.
Yeah. I think
Stafford's
awesome, and that Rams team's
Stafford's
amazing. One of the best head coaches in the league.
Probably honestly, in my opinion, probably the best. I mean, aside from Belichick, and Belichick's trending down a little bit for me here.
Yeah. So, I think that's everything we got going on today. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Another great show. Again, every Saturday at 11 a.m., we are here going over all your Eagles news. Next week, we won't have a recap video because we had 2 games this week. So sorry about that. But we will have a nice preview over the Las Vegas game, which I don't know who's going to be the head coach. We're not really going to go into that too much. You heard about what happened. You heard about
Yeah.
Don't know what's going to happen with that. So we might be able to sneak out a win from the Raiders. But again, we'll go into a full thing there. A nice preview going into all of that. Chance, got anything else for anyone today?
Nah, I'm good, man.
You're good. All right, thank you guys all for watching. Love the support. Again, every Saturday at 11 a.m. on DSM Media only. Check out all the other shows. We got shows live 6 out of 7 days a week, and only moving forward. If you're looking for a spot and you want to do a show, hit us up on Twitter at DSM_media. We're always adding more people, and we'll fit you into the schedule. So hit us up, DM us. Do anything, man. Thank you guys for watching again. This has been What the Football.